Okay, so thank you for doing this interview with me. So the first question is tell me about you and about the store.
So, hello, my name is Rene Carrasco, and I work at Home Depot. A little bit about the store. The store started in 1978 with a man named Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank. What they did is they started with a coffee shop in Los Angeles, and they were really big, like DIYers or do-it-yourselfers. And so, they try to get a lot of people involved with hands-on building kind of things, and that's kind of where the whole idea of Home Depot started.
So you think that's the motivation where it started?
Oh, for sure. It was mostly hands-on, do-it-yourself. That's always been the dream behind Home Depot.
All right. So second question is how does the business structure benefit the store?
The benefit structure benefits the store in many ways. If you've ever been into Home Depot, you can clearly see the different sections of the store. So, starting from the right, you have your big garden department. Behind the garden, you have paint. Behind paint, you have flooring, and so on and so forth. And so having these big different sections or departments helps the customer kind of get around the store a lot easier. And it really helps just kind of make everything run a lot smoother within the store.
So you said that there's like departments. Why do you think they picked that specific structure?
Well, they picked it because one, it makes it easier on us to, restock, to do inventory, to keep track of things. But most importantly, it helps the customer walk into the store, go to the specific department, and get what they need to do done. So it's more for customer sake than anything.
So, but it also helps your partners, right?
Yes, no, it helps everybody. It's a group help. It
So
helps
that's
everybody.
how your partners manage the business.
Well, the way that the partners manage the business, there's obviously a chain of command. Above me, we have the store manager, and then below the store managers, there's the department managers, which it's a set of 5 people. Um, each of them have about 2 to 3 different departments under their name, and then under them, it's the actual managers per department. So there's a singular garden manager, a singular flooring manager kind of thing. So the chain of command is what helps really keep the store in check because um, when the manager can't fix it, then the department manager will. And if he can't, then the store manager will take place. So it really helps keep everything in order.
So what do you guys like? Okay, I already know what Home Depot sells, but like, what do you guys mainly sell?
The thing about Home Depot is we sell everything from as small as a piece of nail to gallons of paint to um, you know, toilets, fridges, garden supplies, tools, all the way to wood. So anything that you need, you know, construction wise, house wise, Home Depot has it. So it's a really big store that sells a lot.
Okay, how do you see your business different from others?
Um, I see Home Depot very different from other places. We get compared a lot to Russell's, True Value, and Lowe's, and a lot of people make the argument, it's basically the same thing. Well, not necessarily. Our benefits within the store with our cards, our cash back, our gas cards, and simply down to the fact of how we train our employees to help people. There's there's a universal difference. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've walked into Lowe's trying to find some help, and it's just not the same. So I think the training in the employees is what's one of the really big differences between other retail stores like us.
So do you think that's a reason why people should go to your store instead of another store?
Oh, main reason is customer service and the products we sell.
All right. So how do you attract your customers to your business?
How do we attract customers to the business? We try to do a lot of community involvement. a lot of the times you'll see the little workshops that we have for kids. And those are always really fun because we get to sponsor with the bank or with Delray as a community and get to have parents and kids come out and learn, really basic things, how to hammer a nail, how to put stuff together. And it really like implements a good picture into a kid's head, like what it's like to work, We also try to help out as much as possible with donations and just little things like that.
What do you think is your target market? So, what kind of customers do you try to attract more?
As a big business, as big as Home Depot is, we try to attract as many people as possible. There's no set person that we try to attract because we try to appeal to everybody. Working there, I've seen high school students go in for a school project all the way to an elderly man trying to fix his busted pipes. There's anything and everything for anyone at Home Depot. So really, mostly, I guess if you wanted a specific answer, it'd probably be anybody trying to do work around the house or any kind of construction job. But the specific person, it can be anybody.
Okay, so we kind of just got out of COVID. How did you adapt to the hit of COVID?
So the way we adapted to COVID was we were deemed quote unquote essential. So we try to work around all the policies that had to be implemented. So a lot of things that we did, we social distanced, we had health checks every day, we had rapid tests, we had a really big mask policy. In the break room, we had tables very separate from each other with dividers between everywhere, just so nobody could spread germs. And if anybody got unlucky enough to get sick, then you got an automatic 2 weeks off for quarantine and to handle your business and get back to work as soon as possible. So we tried our best to keep everybody as safe as possible during COVID.
In that 2 weeks, did you get paid, or did it
Yeah.
was just like a vacation?
No, it was a paid COVID leave. So that came from like the higher ups from like the big corporation, up wherever that's at. So whenever you took your 2 weeks off, you got paid because, that was your source of income, and it wasn't your fault for getting sick.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is, what do you think it should take in a person to be a member in the Home Depot?
One of the biggest things that we look for in Home Depot is team leadership. I remember when I was interviewed, I told the store manager at the time that I was going to be the best person for the job, no matter who you put in front of me, and that's what got me hired. Those words specifically. So we really look for people that are just going to get out there and do it. Complain, like they're not going to complain about the job. They're going to get it done because it's their job, and we want people that are understanding, but also have a mind of their own. If you don't like the way something is, or if you have an idea, speak on it. Like open your mind and let us know, and then we can try to figure out a plan for it. So an open thinker and a team leader and a hard worker, I think, are the three main qualities.
About like if an estimate, how much do you think the store takes in cost to operate?
How much does a store take to operate? Give me 1 second. I honestly, I have to look that up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so according to a Google search, Home Depot in 1 year averages about $49.4 million worth of U.S. sales. So that's just selling items. So to operate one store, it's going to be in the high, I think, millions. Just because we have to not only supply money to employees, but we have to buy the stock that runs out super fast. And as of recent, materials have gone up double, almost triple. So I think it's in the high millions to operate a store, just one store, compared to a whole franchise.
Okay, so next question is, what type of degree or license do you need to run the company or to be a member of the company?
So to run the company, I'm not too sure. I know my store manager, he has, I believe, his master's in business marketing. So I think that's as high as that goes. But as far as being a department manager or just being an associate, you don't need a degree. I know a couple of my colleagues who are department managers. One of them doesn't have any sort of college degree with them, and he does just fine. And then we get a lot of employees that are straight out of high school that are still in high school that they don't have any sort of college degree either, and they do just fine. So a lot of people are welcome here. It's not based on your on what it's based on how you do things. So we don't really put an agenda on that.
So I know you guys sell wood. So where do you get your wood from? Like, I know it's not from here, so you have to get it like shipped out.
Where do we get our wood from?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so according to another search, because that's not something I know on the top of my head, it says Home Depot's lumber, including pressure-treated lumber and softwoods, come from mills in Canada and the Americas North Pacific West. So we buy in bulk from big lumber mills, which are just like places that cut down trees and treat the wood and make it into 2x4s or whatever you need. And we buy it in bulk from them and ship it to our stores.
How do you think our city can help make Home Depot better?
I think if people were, let me see how to word this.
Nice.
Well, nice is the wrong word. I guess like more understanding, because I've heard and seen many complaints about people not doing their job or people being too busy to help out, and that's the truth. There's obviously some bad apples in a tree, but for the most part, there's people trying their butts off, and whenever you miss one customer, then that customer is going to go complain to the whole world about how bad Home Depot is, when you were literally helping a different customer in a different aisle, and they just don't see the full story. So obviously that's not super possible because everybody has their own opinions, and not a lot of people like to see the whole story, but I think that would really help a lot of confidence within the employees at Home Depot.
Okay, so next question is, what future do you see in Home Depot?
As far as the future goes, I think a lot more preparation is going to come in. I know last year compared to this year, there was a lot of preparation because last year the snow was so unexpected to be as bad as it was that we weren't prepared, and we sold out of a lot of things, and we were on back order for months. And I remember people being very upset about that, understandably so. And so I think in the future, like I said, last year compared to this year, Home Depot was way more prepared, even though there was no snow in sight. But we didn't want a whole crash again. So I think being prepared is going to be one of the key points that we're going to have at the Home Depot.
Okay, so next question is, if you were like the boss, you were like the main one, how would you run Home Depot differently?
I would probably make a lot of changes. From what I've seen, a lot of people get not special treatment, but special treatment just because of who they know and what they know. And so I think as a business, that shouldn't be a thing.
So favoritism.
Favoritism is a big thing, yes. And letting lazy people get off with things. If one person is working their butt off, then I believe everybody should be working their butt off. And if there's one person that ruins it, then teach them, coach them, try to have them learn. But if they're still continuously not doing their job, then I don't think they should be a part of the store. If you try to teach somebody the right thing and they keep doing wrong, well, that's just how they are. And there's a lot of that at the Home Depot. So if I could do anything, I would probably change that.
Okay, so the last question I have for you is, why do you think everyone should know the history of Home Depot?
I think everybody should know the history because it kind of stamps the whole reason why we're a company. The founding, I guess, fathers, you could say, of Home Depot were DIYers, and that's the whole kind of message behind us. Is you get what you need, you go to your house, you do it, and it makes you feel 10 times better about whatever you did. When you do something with your own hands, it just gives it that much more value. And so, if everybody knew that, then maybe a lot more people would feel more confident in doing things themselves instead of having to go pay an arm and a leg to pay a third party for it,
Yeah, okay, so the last question is, you have to ask me a question.
I have to ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you were to run any sort of business, what kind of business would it be?
So I work at HEB, so I guess if I would run a business, it would be HEB because of how the environment is. So I guess it would be HEB.
So HEB specifically, or like any kind of retail?
No,
like grocery
HEB.
HEB?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you for doing this interview with me.
No problem.